Okay, so I got all the gears cleaned for that Hummer. There's all the bevel gears there that come out of the differential. It's got open differentials. It's not a posi or a locker. And then these right here will fit over those nut hubs there for the CV joints. Not going to film putting it together, but anyway, I got it all cleaned up. Cleaned it with soap and the gears with Idiot. It's a metal only gears with Idiot spray. And then I'm going to use some of this that L branded white lithium grease in LGI number 2. Because with the white lithium grease, it shouldn't tear up the plastic pieces. And it did have white lithium grease on it when I cleaned it out. I washed all this stuff out and clean almost as new. Maybe not the main body portion though. But anyway, I want to get this reassembled. I'm not going to assemble it on camera. It's not really that difficult to figure out. You got 2 of these bevel gears that go down in there with one of those pins in them. I'm not sure. I would just imagine that this one here has got the longer pin. I'm not sure. But anyway, the one with the metal, that's the rear gear that the motor drives. The motor drives this spur gear here, which drives that bevel gear, which drives the rear diff. And then the drive shaft comes off that right there and goes to the front, which goes to that plastic bevel gear to that all plastic differential. But both contain metal gears on the inside, some kind of aluminum alloy or something. And in case you really aren't familiar with how these work out, you would stick those bevel gears in there with that socket side outward facing so that it can make an interface with that. Then we would take these bevel gears with the shaft, dump them right down over top of that. I'm going to have to find a different rod. I don't know what happened here, but this don't actually work out. Anyway, you'd put those in there like that. Make sure the rod's coming out in these little grooves. So when you put your cap on, it's got a little leg that's going to go down in that hole. Like that right there. Before you can do that, just kind of watching myself through the camera. It's in my way, so anyway, you would toss that on there. And by the way, you'd grease everything first too. I haven't done that. I just wanted to show what it was going to look like. It's hard to do this crap one-handed, but there we go. So then that differential is completely assembled. Looks a little greasy on there, but when you touch it, doesn't feel like there's any residue on it really, but there probably is. So seeing that cap, that's the way she'll go. For some reason, this pin for this one was substantially longer than the pin that goes in this one. There, see? Let me squeeze these together like them right there and line them up, and then you can see. There's a big difference in the shaft that those ride on, and I don't understand why. These are pretty much the same size. Maybe this is just a hair bit bigger. And when you look down in there, there's more gunk. It looks like the longer one rode there, and then this one doesn't. I don't know. I don't understand how it would have been fine in there without that pin going across through there. Okay, so I was able to make me a new shaft to go between these bevel gears. It's kind of stuck in there due to all the grease. Now maybe you can see it a little better, but anyway. I took a 260 motor and cut the shaft out of it. There to the left, that's the original. That's what's left of the 280 shaft that I cut off. Oh, wait, no it's not. That's the broken one. I found you can use probably a 280, a 370, and a 390 motor. They all got about the same shaft. They've all got the same shaft size in them, so if you got one of these Radio Shack trucks and you break that pin in there, don't despair, just go tear a motor apart. So I'm going to throw some more grease into that. Probably too much. I'm sure a lot of you'll be hollering that's just too much. Well, better too much than not enough, because sometime I'm going to come back and put more grease in this one again. That screw's kind of hung up in there. Hang on just a sec. There we go. So anyway, I got to still put another screw in the cover of it, and clean it back off a little better. But anyway, the inside that's all nice and greased up. And you might wonder, which half does it go on? It won't let you screw that up. You see it's got that little tab sticking out there. It doesn't on that side. So you can't get that bevel gear to fit flush down on there. If you take it over here, it does. And then that'll go there like that, basically. There, so it's all assembled and greased. I'm just gonna slap the cover back on. I'll definitely be greasing the back side of this like I did on this end of it. There we got the front drive unit assembled. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're not bad. Got the... Alright, so I finally found a gear that'll fit that. I got a 32 DP, and I think that's like 14 teeth. A lot more than me anyway. So I mounted that 3650 motor in there, and I'm going to close this thing up. Okay, so I finally got the steering figured out on this Hummer. I melded some of this out here with a hot knife. And then I got like the cheapest $15 servo I could find for an 1/8 scale truck off Amazon here. It's 20 kg. A High Wonder, I think is what the brand name is. I really would have preferred it to fit down here flush with where my finger's at, but I couldn't get the steering angle right, so it wound up having to go where it's at. I've already bench tested it and it looks good enough. So I'm going to finish gluing it together and get this truck together so I can actually show you a video of it running and driving. So what's going on down in here is I took one of these steering pieces here and cut the hub off of it there, you know, that sticks out. And that actually fit nearly perfectly into this white piece. So I super glued that and then wrapped it with some cotton to kind of cement it in there better to make sure that it's not possible for it to break loose, at least under RC truck conditions. So this steering arm, that was the Radio Shack original steering arm. I did clip it. You can see right there where it's not quite even because it was flipped the other way, and that was to adjust the trim, which all that mechanism was just right here on the top. Well, we don't need that for trim anymore. It's all electronically controlled. But once the truck's together, you'll not notice any of this butchery. Right over here, we've got the actual truck itself, the rest of the truck, and the only thing I had to do to get the wires through was just a little bit of nick there on the top. I just cut that little piece right there out, and the wires actually come through the vent for the motor. Looks pretty good in there. That's the only thing you wouldn't notice as stock about it, is if you notice the motor in there. So doing this video, I just realized I forgot to put the screw in this thing, so I'm actually going to have to take this whole servo box out. I'm going to have to unhook the steering and all that. This was a pain to get in here, by the way. It is really a pain. I had to take the hubs off and I don't know. But I'm not going to show you on camera. I need both of my hands. So I'm going to get all that done and work on assembling more of this truck. I can't wait to show it to you. Okay, so I took the servo out, and that's what that empty cavity looks like there. There really wasn't a lot of plastic. There was just a, you know, like a little bit there that just had to be melted off. I thought there was a lot more in there, and I didn't want to do this to it, but now it doesn't bother me once I realized what was really even in there. I should have just halved it again and looked it over, but I just didn't want to take the gear parts again. I just didn't want to take the gears apart again. There we go, I got the screw in there, and now I've just like covered it in hot glue. It's one of my favorite things to do, really. So here's how I fixed the rear wheels so they'll just stay straight. Eventually I'll probably put 4-wheel steering on it, maybe, I don't know. I'm not really interested in it, but that glob of glue holds those wires up there, and that's what locks this bar right here into place but lets it slide up and down. You can see it's got a groove down in there that holds it with those wires or pins or whatever you want to look at it like. But anyway, it could move a little bit side to side, but not very much. But once I put the cap on here for the bumper, that's going to hold that glue blob in place, so it can't move back and forth no matter what. So even if it was to break free from that, which I doubt it would. What's wrong?
I'll let it out.
Anyway, that'll keep it held in there. But I can't do it with one hand. Here's its first drive in at least 11 years.
You're fine.
Here, let me see the camera. So yeah, it doesn't have its body on it, but it drives. Still working on trying to get it mounted on there so it doesn't break by all that bouncing around it does. And the battery needs to be mounted on the bottom. Just got the battery today and taking it out for its first real cruise. I just barely test drove it in the house to make sure it go forward and backwards and steer. It's just cool. And the battery's dying, so can't show any more right now, but maybe tomorrow. Okay, so there was smoke coming from this. I think that the spur gear was spinning on the motor shaft. I don't think it was the motor. The smoke was actually coming out from the bottom around here or something. So anyway, I took all the screws out. I haven't opened this up myself yet. Did I strip a gear? Or melt something in here? Oh good, no gear damage, because that's really what I was terrified of. Yes, I used hot glue to make sure the motor didn't move around. Please don't kill me for it. But yeah, it looks good in there. So I'll go ahead and get this fixed up and make some more videos of it.
Do I truly want it?
Okay, so here's that part for the steering on that Hummer. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. You can see that crack there. But it's cracked this piece. I'm surprised it's together at all, because you can see there's a crack at the top and a crack down there at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some metal and make a metal bracket for the steering. I don't know if I'm going to use these steering arms or not. Probably going to wind up just deleting those and getting some threaded top rods, you know, what you usually find on RC trucks, and just upgrade it. There's the motor. Tighten the set screw, and you can tell it's got a bunch of red Loctite on it. In case you didn't notice what it is, there you go. Got a new steering servo for it. Gonna fill this up with hot glue, at least where the electronics hang out, and try to keep the water out of it. The water definitely killed my old one. There was rust on the motor. Sent that back to Amazon. Try it again. Thanks for watching this video. Check out my YouTube channel at patrickthebaptist.com. I've got all kinds of different videos categorized in different playlists so you can find what you're looking for. And also check out sharingthetruthinlove.com. I've got all kinds of different articles there. You can also read the King James Bible. Definitely check the tab out that says Salvation Through Jesus Christ. Learn how to be born again so that you're not a lost person. It's not just hell that the Lord will save you from, it's also the wrath of God and being saved out of all kinds of lies and deception in the life here and now. If I can help you out, just hit me up in the comments below or email me at patrickthebaptist.com. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and as always, I want to praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May He richly bless and guide you all. Have a great day.